Yo, yo, what's going on, people? My friends, my people. Howdy doody. Guys, there was some damn action today and not much else to say about it. Guys, let's take a look at the market indexes and then, of course, we'll take a look at the watch list. So, flat day in the QQQs, large caps were kind of just hanging out, minus like a morning, a big push in Tesla, but, that got rejected too. But otherwise, muted on the large caps. We had a flat day in the QQQs, and, we still got room to go before we're kind of at breakout mode. And, pretty much a flat day on the S&P 500 as we're just kind of marinating under this breakout spot too and letting the EMAs catch up. So overall, these kind of days are healthy. Tomorrow the focus will be on the PPI and the CPI and, coming the day after. And so you may just see a little bit of static in the indexes. But, dude, the big hairy Indian butt is that, we had some meme craziness today. And so there was day trade opportunities just across the board from longs and shorts and all sorts of fun stuff. So let's take a look at the watch list. We don't have to get too crazy here because, we kind of know like what's going down right now. So first things first is like, AMC's getting pushed after hours. And so it looks like, this thing's, remember they did a reverse split. So, you've got probably a little bit another day. You never know. You could get another day of this. I wouldn't fall for the AMC trick too much, guys, because the float's gotten tiny. So, of course, it's flying right now. They'll do an ATM or, some kind of offering at some point, right, and just smoke everybody out. But in the meantime, you can day trade this and do all this kind of stuff. Just be careful holding overnight. You can also see, right, GME. Dude, this is some nice action. There was a lot of halts at the open, but then, you were kind of getting a little bit more kind of orderly action. So this stuff is all going. I think NVAX is something we can play for tomorrow too. 100 million shares of volume. Guys, this is what we've been waiting for, right? Is some speculation, some speculative action. We've been just, having a giant NVIDIA circle jerk for a year, right? A year, just a NVIDIA circle jerk, a SMCI double circle jerk, and now we got some other things, and it takes a little bit of time to get used to the spec, but it's all coming through. You can see, even like the old overstock.com was going today. So I think this is, let's keep all these on a watch. If they, obviously the first couple days of these kind of runs, the dips get bought up, but then, we'll probably get a nice short on these. GME will be hard to borrow, most likely. The puts were even going to be probably sky high, but I think AMC will probably be fairly easy. But beyond these two, I think there's a couple names we want to add in. iRobot, it's not necessarily a meme stock, but it is like, right, something that's super beaten down. And I think these kind of names can get pumped with it. QS, blast from the past. I think this one's also got a chance, 12 million shares in volume. I think that, when you have like something also that's beaten down, right? So what we want to do is kind of relive some of the old SPAC days, right? Some of the old SPAC days, right? BB in the old SPAC days, was a monster. So if we go over here, hold on, this is a weekly chart, but if we go back, this thing, dude, it went on like an awesome run from a few bucks down to, $30. And so we want to relive the old SPAC days for just a handful of times. Those days are gone, guys. But for a day or two, we've got some nice stuff that's going on. So, add in NVAX, GME, AMC, QS, right? QS. And then, I would even throw in a little Groupon, right? A little Groupon. This had some awesome range on this, right? This was a former high flyer too. Add a little Groupon to this. Add a little UPST, which had a really, a decent push in the open and faded off. But I want you to add these kind of names that are just so, right, beaten down that they got nowhere to go. Right, I think that's going to be the play. I would even toss in a little bit of Rivian here, where if it can get, over this level, then probably about 11 and some change, then we've got a little bit of action on this too. All right, so that's what's going on in the SPAC universe. In the regular stock trading universe, I think this future's got a good look to it. Let's add something like this on. Reddit. ARM had a PR today for, some AI chips coming out in 2025. So I think if this remounts the 50-day moving average, it's really going to probably pick up some steam. And then, I want to add in this UAL. It's at a sweet spot. A week open on this one and a red to green. Dude, we're buenos noches. Now, I've been putting all these kind of semiconductors and stuff on, but dude, the ranges have been shitty on these. They just gap up and kind of crap around. So I'd be careful on these. They just kind of gap up and crap around. They were the old, right? If you have other stuff going, then the money's got to come from somewhere. So, even this NVIDIA's got an awesome flag on it. And one of these days it'll just go, but it'll probably be when nobody's looking. For the moment, we keep trying, right? It's probably not going to do anything. So just kind of keep an eye on that. Out of the large caps, I think Google had this huge engulfing candle today, right? A gapped down, completely reversed. I mean, that's all you can really ask for the old Google. So add that one to the watch list. And then if we need some shorts, I've got Disney for breaks IPO lows. I've got shop here on any pops. Let's watch a pop to the 60 spot. We can get short on that. And then, this MPC's got a nice bear flag on it too. Right, it's trend down, bear flag, trend down. I think it's got probably a date with the 200-day moving average. And then, we'll have some earnings plays and, stuff of that nature here. Even App, I believe they're going to have a little bit of an offering. I believe I read that, not a huge one, like 10 million shares or something like that. But, enough to probably get a goosey for a downtick. If it gets bought up and goes red to green, then that this thing is real and people are really liking their earnings. The chart is pretty sick. So, moral of the story, let's keep, right, a whole host of these old school, right, SPAC, SPAC time. They're not all SPACs, but from that era, right, which was a great era. When remember when Chamath was like the next Warren Buffett, right? There's a lot of fun stuff happening. And so let's keep an eye on those. We can long them, if they dip down and hold. Let's watch how they act around the VWAPs tomorrow. And, at some point they'll blow through and, we'll be able to catch them short once they confirm because, you don't have to time the top. Once it starts to roll over, you're going to have endless months to kind of keep shorting them and stuff like that. It's kind of like pot stocks, right? It's I shorted the CGC on a pop for 10 days in a row. Every day it pops up and you just can slam it and it just dips down. It pops up and you slam it and it dips down. And it does this all the time, right? And so you'll have this when the trend kind of ends, they'll start to do that. Be careful when you're trading these kind of names. There's a mania. You don't want to be the last man to the gangbang on these things, right? Because when, the merry-go-round stops, if you're the one that's holding it, you're really going to be in a bad mood. So just be careful on all that stuff. I love you guys. Peace.